Alrighty, so we're in the 2009 Chevy Cobalt again, and we've got that center console armrest that, as you can tell, this one has met its fate. It's broken, it's sloping downwards, so it doesn't, it's not working as it should. So what I want to do, and you can tell, like, if I try to lift it up, if I try to lift it up like this, it'll come up. But if you put any weight on it, it's not going to stay level. This is where it should. And it just goes all the way down. Okay, so I'm going to take it out, apart, or take it apart, and find out what's going on in there. Okay, so here's an overhead view of that center console, and just want to show you how we're going to take it out. So first things first, let me just bring this down. Again, it's not supposed to do that. And this cup holder needs to pull out. You really just pull it out. Just try not to pry it out with a screwdriver because it's going to break the plastic, right? This is 2009. It's 11-year-old plastic. It could break. So I already kind of pulled it out a little bit already. So there you go. So it comes straight out like that. I'm just going to put it aside. And we've got 2 bolts right in here. And I've pre-loosened the bolts. See where my fingers are at? So I've pre-loosened the bolts. I think they're 12mm. And that's one. That's the other. That's it. So now this thing pulls out this way. So I'm going to pull it out this way, okay? I lift it up just a wee bit. See, the bracket kind of came up a bit, and then I'm going to pull it out this way. There you go. Super duper easy. And now we're going to find out what's happening in here. Now you get a good sense of the mechanism that's broken. See, that's normal, right? But this is where it's supposed to stop, around here, around 90 degrees. And as you can tell, it just keeps on going, all right? So I'm going to take this apart and see what's broken. Okay, so let's pull this thing out. And like I said, I'm going to squeeze this clip in here. Okay, and I'm going to pry this out like this, and that's pretty simple, and we can see what's happening. And what's happening here is that this plastic broke. Looks like it broke, and because it's not here to stop the armrest from going down, the armrest will just go all the way down like that instead of stopping where it needs to stop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to epoxy this to this area. Looks like we have a lot of cracks here. See if I can epoxy some of this as well. The other thing is that we have some holes in this plastic, and what I'd like to do is, after the epoxy, maybe drill in here and really attach it to the other side. There's some plastic there on the other side. Attach it to the other side with a nut and bolt to really secure it, so it's not just the epoxy that's holding all this together. Okay, that's probably what's happening on the other side. Let me just show you how to take out the other side. So what I'm going to do, now you have a better picture of the clip that I'm talking about. This is it right here. So I'm going to push in here, pull on this, and then pry it. There we go, just so I can see what's happening. There you go. That was pretty easy. And then I'm going to pry it like that, and should come right out. Let me pry it, give it another little pry here. There we go. And this. So here, as you can tell, is the piece of plastic on this side. So this broke on this side. So they both broke, and look at all this plastic going everywhere, really opening up. There's just a lot of cracks and everything here in the plastic. So I'll have to epoxy a lot here to be able to make this work. But as you can tell, the inside looks pretty good. That nut and bolt will probably stick out around here. So I'll probably use like a rounded nut in order to avoid any scratching of anyone when they go into this compartment. So that's it. Let's create the epoxy. Alright, so I've got the JB Weld here, and I'm going to attach this broken piece to this console of the Chevy Cobalt. I'm just going to speed through some of this because it's pretty simple. Equal parts of the JB Weld and hardener, and I'm just going to mix it up and apply it. So a little bit of a wet sponge before things harden. Just took a piece from the wet sponge. Alright, so we've got the finished product here, and I didn't actually show the application of all of the resin because it's just kind of boring. You saw a little bit of it, and you saw me mixing it up. That's probably the most important piece. I will show you that I used just pieces of a cut-up like credit card and made a little small piece to apply to all the little nooks and crannies, I do recommend you do this. So as you can tell, I was a little more careful here. I was a little more kind of willy-nilly with the inside because this is going to be covered, but it looks like the piece holds really well. And you can see in here how it's just kind of holding in through the cracks. Let me show you the other side. It's really pretty good, and I think I might need to sand a little bit here. So I'm not going to sand in here because you won't be able to see it, but I need to sand just a little bit in here because that is visible when you put the piece of plastic cover over here. And as I mentioned before, I will be drilling in a hole in here to really stabilize this piece. So that's my next step. Alrighty folks, so we have the finished product. I didn't walk you through everything because I thought, you know, you may not want to see all of this, but I want to show you what I did. So here we have a lot of the JB Weld, and I'm just showing it to you. And yes, it's not completely sanded down. You're not going to be able to see this, so that's why I left it that way. And we've got a nice strong bond with this plastic and the console. Here is where I did do a little bit of sanding. So I did do a little bit of sanding here just to smooth it out because this is visible. Let me show you the other side. So again, the JB Weld held really strong, and right in here I sanded this a little bit. Doesn't look so bad, and I think this is really all that's going to be visible. When I open right in here, you see, sanded down as well. Pretty smooth. Now, you may have noticed there's a little nut and bolt. So I drilled a hole in one of these 3 holes. I actually picked the middle one. Drilled a hole, put a bolt in there. Just pick a bolt that fits, and then I put a nut here, you know, just to tighten it. What this is going to do, hopefully, is give this piece of plastic a little more strength, so that when this metal bumps up against this, you know, like that, it's going to be pretty strong. Let me show you right side up. Just like that. So we won't have any more of this problem. I put a little bit of thread lock in here just to keep it tight. And on the inside, you'll see there's the bolt. Put a little washer there. You could probably paint it black if you wanted to, but I don't know if it's going to make that big of a difference. So now all that's left is to install it back in the car. So let's do that. Oh, no, sorry. I actually want to put the covers back on, but I'll show you in the car. We'll put the covers back on and we'll install it onto the car. So we've got the center console. One thing I want you guys to notice is that these things are not interchangeable. This has a little L right here, probably difficult to see. And this other one has an R right in here. So left side, right side, I'm assuming. So this is the left side of the console. I'm just gonna pop this in here and snap it. Sorry for my acrobatics. So that's the left side. And then the right side, I want to make sure this part is covered. And we're covering the right areas here. So here we go. This is going to snap together on this side, and on this side these things are going to snap together. There we go. So good fitment, nice and snug, and nice and snug here. So now I'm going to put this on, bolt it on. If you remember, I pulled it out, so it just needs to kind of go in this way, like so. And I believe we had a Not sure what we had here as far as bolt. This is 13/32, but I think it's 12 millimeter. I'm not sure, but it is. I am using a 13/32 right here, and it seems to work enough. Let's see if I can bolt this on without getting my head in the way. So I'm just going to do it by hand a wee bit. And then I'm going to tighten it up and then put that cup holder on, and we are good to go. Okay, let's tighten it up a bit. There we go. Give it a couple of good turns for good measure. All right, we're good. And now I'm going to put this cup holder on, and I believe it just kind of comes straight down. There we go. And there you have it. You've got your console comes up and no longer falls all the way down. Pretty comfortable. It actually may feel a little weird, may feel a little high now because you're used to it being broken, but this is going to be pretty sturdy because of these bolts. All right, you guys, thanks for watching.